welcome to the Jamaica Road Police. So this is part 2, we continue the journey of the corrupt detective sergeant who have sold an exhibit to a young man, and the man, was shot and killed by police in a shootout. And the Commissioner of Police, Owen Ellington, allowed this detective sergeant to retire from the police force with full benefits, when this man should have been arrested and charged for what he has done, because somebody had lost their life because of his actions. But it goes to show you that corruption, power married to corruption, and that's how it is in Jamaica. So we'll continue the journey. One love. George. So you think I'm joking? Do you, my loyal viewers and subscribers, remember in the early 2000s, when there were several robberies of good trucks in Huntsville police area, and most of them were taken to Riverton City dump, where the drivers and sidemen were robbed and kidnapped. These men had nothing to do with these robberies, but were an ongoing thing between men from Riverton City, Kingston 11, and Majestic Garden, a place they call Bacto. One of the main suspects and masterminder in these robberies were Clive Big Lead Williams, done from Bacto, whom I had known for more than 11 years then. At one time, there were some, thing with myself, Bobby Williams and Big Lead and me, and, we had to, it was three of them, and, we have to, he got a little touch, and, he ran away and came to America, and, he came back to Jamaica when he said that he heard that I had migrated. So, police was supplying me with information, because a warrant should have been there for him, for his arrest that from something that in 1995, 1994, 95, thereabout, but, that's water under the bridge. So, he was one of the main suspects, the masterminder. And I have known this man for years. Big Lead had offered me a substantial amount of money to release him from custody. And when I turned down his offer, he was unhappy. And he was happy to let me know that my superiors were a part of the scheme, and they were all making money from the same. And that you, Mr. Porter, is going to the poor police because you don't understand that the system is changing and everyone are working together to eat a food with one aim, to make money and make everyone happy. A few days later or so, Clive Big Lead Williams was released before he was placed on an identification parade for the robberies he was suspected of committing. When I found out, I was furious. Yes, I was mad as hell, because the man admitted to me that he was in fact one of the main players in the robberies in the area, and that he had the support of the police hierarchy at Huntsville. I am telling you, all the way up to the soap he calls. Say all of them, everybody. I spoke about the actions of DSP as well here, who released this man, and that he was not better than the criminals. Yes, I said that about the crime, the Gazette officer. A district constable, Simon Essen, reported me to DSP here, Detective Inspector Para Campbell, that remember the police had pepper spray in his eye, crook that too, and Detective Sergeant Taylor, the one Bud Spencer, also George Williams, he's deceased. And entering the office, DSP here, he said to me, Constable Porter, I understand that you're in the office calling me a corrupt and a thieving police officer, and that I am running a party shop because the most wanted man, Ratty, whom 7 warrant, is here for his arrest. He came in one door and went through the other. He was able to go back into the community as a free man. And Big Lead told me that you would collect the money and release him because you were a part of the crime ring. Also Para Campbell and Bud Spencer. Constable Porter, who are you calling Bud Spencer? It is Detective Sergeant Taylor for you, said Detective Sergeant Taylor. Bud Spencer, who are you trying to fool here? Not me. Because Christopher Dudusco could not send me on any errand to rob a drug dealer of their cocaine, as you and Gilroy did, I said to him. Bud Spencer was shocked and could not answer me because I told him the name of one of my schoolmates who is from Tivoli Gardens, Kingston, who went with them on the robbery. I was chased from the crime chief's office, and I was a marked man for death by them too. It was not the first time I have made enemies in the police force because I wanted a better police force in Jamaica. But the hierarchy want none of that, and that I had the reason why I have used Sergeant Hubert Llewellyn's case that the force do not cater for honest, ethical, truthful and decent police officers, even in December 2022, Christmas Day. Later, I resigned from the police force, and these guys at Unsbury tried everything to get me dismissed from the police force, but not submitted my leave that I submitted. The investigator who was in charge of Big Led's case was dismissed by them, as they used a kangaroo court inquiry to get rid of him, and I will touch on that topic later. Yes, they tried to dismiss me from the police force. All of these corrupt police officers, including the soap at Unsbury, all of them. And I had to use an attorney at law, and that's how I got my papers, because anything that you're doing with these people, you have to make sure you have your receipts. So every time when I submit my leave, I make sure that whenever it's dropped off, somebody signed for it, and the diary and all of that was there. You understand? So thieving as well here, and dirty Para Campbell. Yeah, when I dog man, all thief and Bud Spencer, I will on a junkra. Dirty police, I want to mash up Jamaica. And it's the same Para Campbell, with the X5 thing, criminal police, he's the one that it is alleged that he took the man, the gun that killed the little boy from Kingston College. Yeah, same Para Campbell, dog. You understand? I don't do things because I want nobody to like me. You understand? And my mother, I have never feared any man. None of them, I will on a fool. Investigators in the gun case, and the matter was disposed of by the court, that I want Bud Spencer and a dog, another thief. That meaning that the illegal gun must be handed over to the police armory for its destruction. This was not done because Bud Spencer, sold the exhibit to a man who was killed by the police in a shootout. Upon initial investigation, this was something that was borne out in the press, in which the press said that, boy, this gun should not be on the street, and they want to know how this man come by it. Then people were saying that police plant the gun, and they didn't plant it. It was a real shootout, because the mother said it was a shootout, but it's just that the mother confirmed that her son buy the gun from Bud Spencer. But as a former police officer, right now, who you think the police them in Jamaica are people who are friends with him? Who you think them hate? You think about Spencer will sell the youth the gun and then police kill him in a shootout? And me them hate, because I am talking. Them want you supposed to put up them friend, them criminal friend, because most of them in the police was a criminal, May I tell you that, You understand? Anytime you find a police officer that is clean, him can't reach up there. Him can't pass the rank of sergeant or upwards. You understand? Very rare you find a man reach even inspector and up. Ruben Gunter should be a senior soap or assistant commissioner of police. The amount of work with that man do. Honest. DSP we do the Unsbury, good police officer. Honest police. The man they are a thief. Hubert Llewellyn, free pass from the man give evidence against Darrell Fars, him still a sergeant. You understand? I'm glad to them to kill him, but he should have, tried to seek asylum at the US Embassy and migrate and think I have a good case, you understand? And and as a former police, I would help him in that regard. You understand? Yeah man, Bud Spencer was the last person who had possession of the gun. Instead, the police hierarchy arrested, and after the police, they did a robust investigation, and into the matter. And when it was discovered that it was Detective Sergeant Taylor was the last person who had possession of the gun, and plus corroborating statement from the deceased mother that she knew of the incident, and the policeman knew how much money her son gave the police a gun. The police instead the police hierarchy arrested and charged him for selling the gun, as the deceased mother confirmed the relationship between both men, and our son came in possession of the same gun. Do you know what the Commissioner of Police, Owen Ellington, did? At the time when he was claiming to rid the force of corruption and corrupt police officers, he was only getting rid of his competitors and rewarding his friends. He allowed Detective Sergeant Taylor, otherwise called Bud Spencer, to retire from the police force with a full pension because the man was his friends. But he and Bud Spencer, they were friends. Many young detectives at Unsbury trusted me. I leave not other division. And I tried to get the necessary done by, to investigating the corrupt police officers who took away keys files from them by perverting the course of justice and other criminal actions. Man get shot in a shootout, man dead, and gun recover a man in a hospital, and a police guard give instruction for release the man who was charged, and the case never got caught, and the man who get shot, and all kind of criminality. And I was the guy who them label a bad guy, and I was the guy that them label say I must dead. Me a informer, or me a junglist, and me a informer. So me supposed to be a police officer, me supposed to be a criminal mind police officer. Me supposed to support all of them ranks. The only thing I tell a police, and I have no problem to get rid of criminal, but you're not supposed to rob the people, them, and you're not supposed to collect money and do all kind of criminality. Number one, when I arrested Bitty, and charged Bitty for murder, even police officer came to me, and wanted to give me money in that matter. You understand? But there was nothing there. You understand? But I'll delve into that later. Boy, I'm telling you, man, it's just, in the end, their lives were put in danger by a senior superintendent. All of these young police officers, they gave me all this information, and and I pass it on. But I did not pass it on to this senior superintendent of police. And I don't want to, because anything that I am saying, I have proof, but I don't. When I say I have proof, the chain of things change hands. But in regard to this, I cannot say how it reached the senior superintendent of police. But I'll let you know later, who I am talking, until I gather more information that, it's concrete. And this man, he retired from the police force. And these young men and women have to run from the police force, leaving their job to save their lives, because these police officers, were marked for death, because the people at the top saw these young police officers as working with me and working against them. Because as a detective, I was a crime fighter, although I was a constable, and any police who work with me, they will tell you at Unsbury that not only criminal fear me, even police fear me, because I was a no-nonsense police. I have never been shot by police or criminal, because I always say, when I go on a raid, that any police officer shoot me, if I am not dead, don't think that I am going to let you tell me sorry, because if you shoot me, remember, I am going to return reciprocated. And I am not going to do it like you, that you're able to do what you have done to me. Because all of us have been trained in the use of firearm and ammunition. So those are the words that you have to do as a police officer if you want to live when you go up and raid or out a road and come back. So right through the years, it's just a few people have worked around, and these people always have my back. You understand? Yeah, man, respect Bobby Reds, man. Bobby Reds. For all the years, Bobby Reds, most of my career, we spent together. You understand? And with Gunter and Rocky and Kirk Palmer, rest in peace, and Bruce Brown, rest in peace, and with team leader, the great Leslie Ashman. Young police officers, and I am begging you, young police officer, I want you to listen to me. Do not report any corruption to your seniors in the police force, because you may lose your life, as they did to Inspector Dennis Gardner, who was a community safety and security officer at Unsbury Police Station, Kingston 11. The reason why they killed Inspector Gardner is that he had passed on certain information about senior police officers at Unsbury in bed with a Dan Ashata near Machine Man, and the relationship with these people. there and not knowing the senior officers' relationship with the criminal police officers at Huntsby. And that's how he lost his life. Whether or not you want to believe it, the few good police officers in the police force are not in a position to make or cause changes to the police force. It is not going to happen, not now. Changes have to come from outside, like in the United States of America. So if you're waiting on this commissioner of police to deliver change to the police force, good luck with that, because I haven't seen it as yet. In terms of getting laws, like with the 15-year and the murder, we applaud him for that. Yes. Because, it was Delroy's truck and the PMP vision to give murderers 3 years. I don't know which university these people attend. Thanks for supporting the Jamaica Young Police channel. Have yourself a beautiful day, and I hope you enjoy your Christmas. One love. Jamaica Young Police channel out.